Well, hello everyone. It's Crabby Cal coming at you again. Episode 10, Part 2. I'm not going to go through everything that is sitting in front of us here and going through the drinks and such because I went through all of it in Part 1 of Episode 10. So hopefully I can keep this one short and sweet. And to tell you the truth, I'm sort of like having more trouble than I was earlier, like continuing with long conversations with myself. Before it was like it's going 25, 30, 40 minutes. Now I don't know what to do after like 10 minutes. So all I'm going to try for is a couple of 4-minute songs here. First one's called Copperhead Road, and the second one is Dueling Banjos by, not really by anybody, but it is by somebody, but a couple of kind of country themed songs. Anyways, this first one, Copperhead Road, is a little bit about moonshine and then maybe the evolution from moonshine into grass and pot and marijuana, etc. But sticking with the moonshine part of it, you might notice whenever you see most people drinking moonshine, they're drinking it out of a jar, and I fully concur with that, and that's all good. But if you want to go and upgrade yourself a little bit, you might want to get one of those colored ball jars. I like to use those myself here, not for moonshine because I don't have any here, but just for my normal like water drinks, ice waters, anything. Those ball jars that are colored like these 16-ounce jars, like the blues. It's really one of my favorites. Here's an example of it. Now, if that was like filled like about to where my finger is with moonshine, and you took yourself just a little sip, you don't even want to try to get more than a thimble full of it. It'll snap your head back, but you just want to be careful when you're dealing with moonshine out of this kind of a jar or any kind of a drinking vessel. FYI. This kind of maybe relates to what I'm trying to bring out as a more serious subject with this video, and that has to do with income inequality. I've kind of seen a little bit of it from both ends. I've seen some of the higher ups and some of the lower downs. But what I've seen is, and what I pretty much know is that the people that are down at the bottom of the income ranges, they're struggling. And I mean, let's put it this way: if they got a notice from school that there was a $12 fee coming up for if they wanted to get the class picture for their child, let's say third grader, and that would be an example of myself here. Not that in this case we were able to come up with a 12, but without too much of a problem. But some people have a big problem even coming up with anything extra, whether it was $5, $10, $15. And what I'm trying to make the point of is that people that are hammered down at the $7 or $8 an hour range, or even the $9 or $10 or even $11 range, are really struggling if that's what they're trying to support their family with. There's a whole lot of things that are out there. You need to get your internet, you need to get your electricity, your heat. You got to pay for a place to live. And you're trying to do that on a very limited amount of money. I think the minimum wage is still somewhere between $7 and $8 an hour. I mean, there's a lot of companies raising their wages, like Walmart raised theirs to 11, but I still think that there's a lot of people down there in the $7 to $8 range. My main point with the income inequality is that if you were a family making 100,000 or even 50,000 or 200,000, or if you were fortunate enough to be in the really upper echelons of $1 million a year or anything like that, or where you were super well off, when I say that, I mean I'm saying like you're a millionaire or better. The difference for you to double your income, I really don't think is going to be anywhere close to the difference of doubling the income of somebody that's at the $7, $8, or $10 or $11 range. If we can increase the incomes of people at the lower end by 50%, it would just mean so much to them. And there's a vast, huge number of people down there. And one of the things that'll happen when the incomes of the lower group get raised is that they're going to pump most of that money right back into the economy. So I'm thinking it's all pretty good from that end, and why not spread a little bit of the wealth around? So if we can do something and get it even get it going here from 7, 8, 10. Let's get it up to 15, 16, and I know California is doing things 15ish, and there's a lot of companies that are doing things at even higher numbers out, mostly in the West. But whatever we can do to help everybody out, let's do it, and let's really think about people that have a lot less. And listen, it's going to be good for everybody. They're gonna spend that money. They need things, and it's going to be all good. So that's really all I got to say about that. So this one probably isn't going to go much past 9 minutes, if that. It might be my shortest ever.
I believe you could too. I believe you could. That's good. That's very good. God damn, you play a mean banjo. Hey, you want to play another one? Give him a couple.